So in Fusion 360, there is this really cool mode called Sculpt mode. And Sculpt mode basically is a workspace where you can create free-form bodies that have irregular curvatures and shapes to them. You can really create objects that will be a little bit harder to replicate, using normal design techniques like creating a sketch and then extruding it. Rather, you can just go ahead and twist and bend and shape, the primitive or the object into the shape that you want. So right here, as you can see, I have this really weird pot looking thing. And, as you can imagine, it will be very, very difficult to create something like this in our model workspace. I would have to try and like revolve it. But even then it wouldn't come out, quite like this because it's just so irregular, the curvatures of it. It's almost like, someone took a piece of clay and molded it into a shape like this. How would you replicate that using Fusion 360? And that's basically what Sculpt mode is. You can sculpt, your primitives into a shape that you want, that you desire. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to start that. So I'm gonna start with a new design. And in order to go into Sculpt mode, we go into our Create menu here and click Create Form. And now, as you can see, our workspace changes into Sculpt. So I'm going to go ahead and click Create, and we have options to create, certain primitives like a box or a cylinder or sphere or plane. I'm just going to show you guys, what you can do with the sphere. And these rules apply to all the different options you can create, but a sphere is a very simple primitive to show you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and click the center of the canvas, drag it out to about 3.3 inches, and I have my sphere. So basically, as you can see here, our sphere has different number of faces on it, and any one of these faces we can modify. And that's basically, what differentiates Sculpt from the model workspace is that when we create a body or a primitive, it has several different faces that we can modify, and that's how we can get those weird freeform body shapes. So I'm going to go ahead and click Modify. I'm going to click Edit Form, and I can click an edge, I can click a point, I can click a face, and I can edit, modify any of those. So I'm going to go ahead and click this face right here. And as you can see, we have several different options. We can rotate this face, and look at that, we can twist it inside of itself along this axis, or rotate it along that axis and twist it that way. We can go ahead and shrink it on itself if we click one of these lines here, or expand it if we want. We can, if we click one of the squares, we can move it up or move it down in that direction, or move it inwards on itself. Or, if we click one of the arrows, let me go ahead and change that. If we click one of the arrows, drag it up, we can drag it up, and then we can drag it out like this. So that's actually what I want to do. I'm going to drag it up and then out. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And I'm going to go ahead and click, this face right here, because I also want to do that to make that weird bowl shape. So I'm going to go ahead and drag it to the right, and I'm going to drag it up a little bit. I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to go ahead and take this face, and I'm going to drag it to the right, and then drag it up. And finally, I'm going to target this face right here. And I'm going to drag it out and up. I'm going to click OK. All right, and as you can see already, we already have this very weird shape that would be, again, really hard to create in the model workspace. It's almost impossible. You definitely have to use the Sculpt workspace to create something like this. So I'm just going to show you guys real quick, what it would look like if we took an edge and we try to do the same thing. So you can take edges, you can also drag them out. I'm going to go ahead and click Control Z because I don't want to actually drag it out. We can also modify multiple edges and faces at the same time. So on the bottom here, let's say we want to drag all of these out. I'm going to go ahead and click one of these faces, hold down the Shift key, and I'm going to click all the other faces next to it, and I'm going to let it go. So I can go into Modify now, click Edit Form, and I can drag it out and extend it, or drag it inwards, and I like that way that looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and drag it inwards, and we have our our very weird shape here. Another really cool feature that you can do, so basically whenever you are modifying a face, like I'm going to edit form, I'm going to select this face here, I'm going to edit the form, and you're dragging it out just like this in several different directions. It also subsequently drags the adjacent faces right next to it according to the direction you want to drag it out in. I'm going to go ahead and click cancel. Let's say you just want to drag this face without all the other faces also being dragged out. What you would do is you go ahead and click that face and then click Edit Form, and then you would go ahead and hold down the Alt key on your keyboard and then drag it out. And as you can see, we're only adjusting this, mostly just this face right there, and it creates other faces right next to it as we're dragging it out. So that's a really cool way. You can target just like one single face and just modify that, and you can do some really cool things with that. You can also delete faces on a Sculpt workspace. So I'm going to go ahead and click all of these triangles up here and select them. So hold down the Shift key, select all of these triangle faces right there, and I'm going to click the delete button on my keyboard, and now we have a hole in the middle. So basically you can just delete any one of these faces here, and that's not something that would be very doable in the model workspace. So once I'm done, I'm going to click finish form, and now we have our body from our Sculpt workspace.